Ooh-wee! We've got sound test good. Okay, I always forget to do that. Howdy, gang. Welcome back to King Come Delivery. I don't really remember what we were doing. I know we just raided the counterfeiters. They sent us back here to Sasau to investigate a gang of ruffians. They've been recruiting people in the church here, I guess. I'm supposed to find something out about that. The crimps, they call themselves. Not to be confused with the Bruds. They really don't like when you mix them up. In fact, that's a good way to get yourself killed. There's also this quest over here with the Yohanka. You see what it's about? We were very close to making the town profitable. I forgot about that. We need like 3,000 beans or some such. I don't know if I want to start that just yet. So, you know, I think maybe we'll go up here and talk to, do some more Band of Bastards stuff. I mean, how long can it be? Already done like 2 of the missions. Oh, I see. Looks like Henry needs to sleep, actually. He just got out of jail for reasons. I'm pretty sure I was very upset that I was in jail, but, you know, it happens. Sometimes you just get arrested, and sometimes you just gotta cooperate or the police will fucking kill you. Not even a joke, please cooperate. Everybody gets a fair trial, so if you feel that you are being unjustly imprisoned, don't worry about it. You're only gonna be locked away for like a day. I don't know, you might get compensation for someone being a dickhead. Get satisfaction at least when they get fired. So, we do have stuff to talk about. I did go and look at whatever shows I'd finished recently, which wasn't very many. We already talked about the one, so I've got like 2 more, and I beat 2 games. One of them was like a flash game, basically, so, you know, nothing impressive there, but the other is Yakuza Kiwami too, so that'll be a long conversation. Hot off the heels of the previous game. And I am at the ass end of Disco Elysium. Things like really started to pick up the last few days, and I've been absolutely glued to it. So I don't know. I might have like only an hour left or something. It depends whatever's in this last area that we finally unlocked. But yeah, we should have that to talk about next week. Thief! Where's the thief? I'll trample his no good for nothing.
Thief! Thief! Ah, what was you doing?
You fucking chud.
Thief!
Eat your ass. You gonna eat him? Can you imagine the horse just bends down and crunches his head like a fucking apple? Makes a nice God, that probably sounded awful. You know what I'm talking about, though. The apple sound. Probably make one want to eat that, right? We're over full, we can't actually eat, can we? But, yeah.
Ah! Watch where you're going, you lout! You're
Fuck
gonna kill
you!
me!
You deserve worse, you some fucking rotten scum. Where are these boys? Band of boys. Fish trap.
Yeah!
Ah, they must be in here. This smithy. Getting their shit banged out.
Oh.
Oh.
I hope I can be of help to you, knight.
The Sasau swordsmith tells me he'd pay handsomely for a piece of the sword some pilgrim from the Holy Land was selling here a while ago.
Well, my lad, I can't help you there. We're the back of beyond here. Not even a pilgrim ever stops by. And even if he did, what use would some relic be to me? And what would I pay him with?
You say so, bruv. Does it have anything good? It's all shit in it. Yeah, not much fancy either. Ain't got nothing to sell 'em. Not a gosh darn thing. Did I equip my mace again? Oh wait, he did have that dialogue on him, didn't he? Yep.
What's the matter?
It's the tourney. It always upsets me.
Why would the tourney upset you?
It brings back sad memories about my son Svartalfbrok. God rest him. He always loved sword fighting. Even when he was just a lad, he used to duel with his mates with sticks. And for years he saved every groschen he got so he could buy a real weapon. Wasn't long before he had the hang of all sorts of fancy strikes and feints. So when he heard Sir Hanush was holding tourneys for common folk, he was first in line to enroll.
That was me. I'm your son. Glad to meet you, father.
Did your son ever win the tourney?
Oh, aye, more than once. Svartalfbrok wasn't the strongest, but he was agile as a weasel. And he put his heart and soul into it.
I see. And he got hurt in the arena?
Oh, heavens no. Sir Hanush set the rules in such a way that nobody would suffer more than a bruise or two, and he makes damn sure the rules are obeyed.
Yeah, bullshit. I've broken multiple limbs and almost bled out.
So what happened to him then?
It fixed you up real good, though.
Well, this fella by the name of Peter enrolled. They called him Black Peter on account of the colour he wore. He beat all comers.
I'm
No
familiar
man
with this piece of shit.
Only Svartalfbrok was determined to take him, so he started training all the hours God gave. He even started going to Captain Bernard for lessons. And in the last tourney, he got the better of Black Peter in the end and won the prize. Only he never came home that day. I figured he was having a drink in Rattay to celebrate his victory. But he didn't even turn up in the morning, and I started getting worried. I was just on my way to look for him when some merchants came by. They found my boy by the road just past Rattay. He was still alive, but he was burning up and shaking like a leaf. I sent for the sawbones right away. But before the day was out, I had to send for the priest.
Oh.
Do you think it was this Black Peter who killed him?
It was the first thing crossed my mind. Aye. But there's no proof. It could have been anyone, I suppose.
Are they gonna, like, resurrect Black Peter and make me fight Zombie Peter?
Do you know anything about this Black Peter?
No, not much. I asked around, but nobody knew nothing much about him. Except he was a stuck-up bastard. He always just turned up for the tourney, took his prize, and vanished.
So I do.
Did Svatopluk have any wounds?
Only a couple of scratches and bruises from the tourney. Nothing that would kill a man. Not even the sawbones could figure out what done him in.
Poison?
I think I can tell you what happened to Svatopluk.
Really?
The fact that he died just after beating Black Peter and winning the tourney was no coincidence.
So it was that bastard.
Yes, Black Peter lay in wait and ambushed me. He's a nasty piece of work. The thing is, he had some kind of poison on his weapon, so I reckon he might have poisoned your son. The signs you spoke of point to it.
Merciful God, I knew it. But how did you get away from the fucker? Did you kill him?
Nah, he was no match for me. I sent him straight to hell where he belongs.
Thank you. It won't bring my boy back, but it gives me some peace to know you avenged his death. Here, take this. It's not much, but it's all I have.
Glad to know I've been compensated for my efforts. Huh.
See you later.
I was expecting more than that, but I'll take it.
Everything for the house, garden, and field. Knives, axes, rakes, hoes. Getting the best right here.
That puddle looks wacky, dog. It's moving like way too fast. First I ever noticed one too. Huh. Yeah, I really was expecting more than that. Like, where is the rest of the Band of Bastards content? Is that a later act in the game? It's possible. I should check my journal. Meet with Kuno in the comment. How do I ensure housing? Hold on, I got. Yeah, my phone's not in my pocket. I will. My phone's sitting on my bed. I'm gonna look at that. I gotta look up what to do about the housing, because that could have been like something I just completely overlooked, and it makes total sense. I figured that it would happen when I redid the church or something, did the bailiff's office. And that would like retrograde the entire town or something, but maybe I just don't have workers and that's why we're losing money. Let me look it up. Housing. Hey. Can you build a house? Build a village or what? Oh. Bruv. Ensure housing. Look at the damn guide. Hard potions come in handy. I should have thought of that. I already have temporary. Woodcutter, scan, bridge, road, trader, plus sources. Followed up with the Tavern of Beehives, my initial idea. I don't think I built the tavern yet, have I? I might have. It might have been the last thing I built. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about building houses, just doing stuff. Something about finding skilled laborers, though. I think I might have blown over that. Hmm. Skilled laborers. All buildings come with characters able to run each site. Let the grass here meet several craftsmen. You can take them in for extra and okay. It says they come from the judgments, which we have not done too many of, but I guess they're coming in the future. But nothing was mentioned about the housing, so I'm probably on the money. I think I just gotta get the basics set up and it'll just happen. People can build their own damn houses.
Yeah.
So, where is Kuno? Kuno doesn't fucking care. I should head to a little bit to the east.
Yeah.
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno fucks. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno rides. Kuno's rage.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I'm gonna say about Disco Elysium, but let it be known that I love Kuno. I painted it on the side of a building, which probably didn't look very good when people call me a pedo cop, but you know, there are many kinds of love.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes that's old boy throwing rocks at you. Sometimes you just want to recruit him to be your partner. Buddy cops, you know, good cop, bad cop. It's classic. That asshole probably wanted a duel. I ain't gonna waste his life like that. Accident? Is it where I crashed my fucking horse?
Jesus. Not as shallow as it looks.
It's a beaver dam? Here you can cross. Beavers. They don't give a damn, they build one. There's probably a bed at their camp. That's what I am choosing to believe. God damn it. I think I maybe crossed that river without needing to. We'll head here though. Ah, god damn it, stay awake, Henry. Got places to be. Is that shack where we interrogate the human? Got some money doing that. Good times getting that money. We're always trying to get money. Never enough. Everyday wage slave. You do it beating ass or washing dishes, that's all you'll ever be. I'm fucking tired, dudes. I've been awake since like 7 a.m. It's very unusual for me. It's usually when I go to bed. I meant to take a nap earlier, but again, I've just been absolutely glued to the back end of Disco Elysium now that things are actually happening. So I overdid that a bit. Yeah, that's why I started this about an hour earlier than usual. Hoping to only go till like 10 some Eastern time. And it should still be like 3 hours, but you know, I think I can hold out till then, and I can take like a 2-hour nap or something. Try and get my sleep back on schedule before it's time for me to go back to work. Yeah. I had a soda, so I got a little sugar boost to hold me over through this. The soda usually has caffeine in it, but I find my Reed bottles, most of them do not have caffeine in them anymore. Very strange. Good for me, though. Because I don't want an addiction.
I want to talk to you.
Where we got salt and sugar, you know? Couldn't possibly do more than that. I don't know if salt's even addictive, it's just a working theory I've got. You know, they put it on everything. Everything just has way too much sodium content in it. And, you know, it's bad for you. You, of course, need it to, like, sweat at all. Like, you need some. But it is on absolutely everything. Even things that don't taste salty. And, you know, I think it's just because we are addicted to the taste, at least, if not chemically addicted. And, you know, just having it there makes things taste better. Just like, you know, the McDonald's french fries are dipped in sugar. You can't really taste the sugar, they just make them look all gold and pretty. Also make them a little cancerous when they get burnt, but, you know, we glossed over that. But I think that, like, plays on your sugar addiction. Just like they used to inject that pink slime into the burgers and the nuggets or whatever. I don't think they still do that, but... You know, they're doing whatever they can to get you coming back. Because we all know it's gross. Ain't stopping no one, though. Jarn Behrman? We probably got some books to read. Always get some books. Grasses and herbs. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Silence is golden. It is better to speak with a wise man about something foolish than a foolish man about something wise. That is, if you're an idiot, stick to what you know. I don't feel that foolishness and wisdom are necessarily the opposites, but, you know, stupid people do stupid things. They're generally not wise. Whereas smart people can do unwise things. What you're actually looking for is people like me who have thick-ass eyebrows. That's wisdom. It's like not even a joke. In my experience, people with thin or no eyebrows are very impulsive. Maybe because they can't focus. They don't get that visor.
True. There ain't many redheads in these parts.
Damn shame that.
Henry!
Talking to me?
What's it about, Stefan?
Ah, Henry, the very man I wanted to see. I heard you got the ring from Dangler and gave it to the stone.
Maybe.
Let's not beat around the bush. I could use your help too. I think the stone has had the ring long enough, if you get what I'm saying.
I'll help you. I've got nothing else to do anyway.
I want to steal the ring from the stone while he's asleep, but that fella sleeps with one eye open. He needs a little help with sleeping soundly, and I've got a feeling you're the kind of man who knows how to arrange that kind of thing.
Sure. I'll bring you some sleeping potion.
Great. I knew I could count on you. And if you happen to come across that ring, all the better.
I've got that potion for you. A few drops in the stone's drink and he'll sleep like a baby.
I hope not. Babies have a tendency to shit themselves and wake up screaming.
Whoa. guy a hundo. Gonna buy me a brand new Hyundai. Nourishment, we're good. Kuno!
Can we set out?
Sure. We'll head towards Sasau today. Jakey heard at the tavern in Ledechko that someone there saw some unfamiliar horseman.
You think they could be Hagens?
Did he have a head?
Maybe, maybe not. It's enough that they're not local. Could be the escort of some merchant caravan, of course.
We don't like escorts, they're all frauds. That was a joke. But unless someone comes up to you in person, definitely do not trust anyone who asks you for money on the internet, or whatever platform it may be. Should be common sense.
Jakey, go and scout ahead. Don't want us running into any surprises. See if there's a good spot for us to camp.
Right, Chief.
What's the matter with Jakey? No back talk.
I gave him a swig of schnapps at supper. Perhaps it made a man of him overnight.
Or that boar piss of yours took away his will to live.
Gonna get shot. Oh, this is like an endgame cutscene. Didn't override my equipment or anything. Wonder if it's oh.
Brother, where are you?
All right, Henry. I'm coming, brother.
Sucker! Catch the horses!
We're on the riverbank!
Start playing some Red Dead combat music.
We have to get back to the bank, quick, before they cut us off.
Fucking banjos and a guitar. Dun 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 dun. Do I not have equipment in this? No? Okay, I do. Give it a. Wobble lot. Hey! Look at all his money. Kuno's dead. Oh my god. Oh shit. Was I supposed to kill these archers? That sucks. I'm not okay with that. I paid money for this quest, I'm not just gonna fail it.
Back the way we came! I'll have.
Oh, is that Kuno I murdered? I don't think so, but still, it happened. I feel like I was hitting it friendly, because he seemed very surprised that I was beating his ass. Look at these fucking archers. That's what needs to be done. These guys need to, like, follow my orders or something, you know? If they just came with me and killed the guys from behind before moving forward and we didn't split up, that would have worked out a lot better. They didn't do no mountain blade bullshit. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Dear God.
Yeah, I'm like failing the entire fucking quest line. I don't think he's supposed to die. I need to protect this boy. He is precious and must be protected. Alright. We're doing things. God damn it. Spill a fucking river of blood for Kuno. Ah. Fucking hillside suck ass. I need bandages. And then marigold decoction. There's like the ambient sounds of a big fight, but nobody's actually fighting. I think that we made it. Fuck, I didn't loot anyone.
some there!
Pretty sure we already lost him, Dawg. Ah, yes. Very open space. Perfect for talking.
What now?
I don't know. They could be lying in wait for us anywhere. Someone must have snitched on us. We should split up and get the fuck out of here.
So every man for himself?
Just so.
But you think it was one of the band who betrayed us?
Look around for yourself. Who's missing? Jakey. That's who. I sent him on ahead, and he knows which way we're going. That little fucking Judas! When I get my hands on him, he'll rue the day he was born.
I know he's not just dead. Or, you know, he went off to drop his new album, Rom-Com.
I'll try and track him down. He can't be too far away.
No, it's too risky. He could have Hagen's people all around him. All we need to do is get out of here in one piece.
What's that? What's going on? Well, I never. The pig turns up willingly.
Is that the best you can do?
What was this? Bandit scum. Horse in the dirt beneath me boots. Alright, what was I gonna do? Time. Right, 42. That means we can talk! Alright, guys. Yakuza Kiwami 2. We played it immediately after Yakuza Kiwami 1. This is obviously a remake of Yakuza 2, except this one does not use the Yakuza 0 engine. It's its own special Kiwami engine. It's all very next gen, looks much nicer than Yakuza 7 even. Everything is sparkly, the fucking real-time reflections on the water and shit, everything's got cloth simulation. The whole town has like no loading screens, like you just walk in and out of stores, there's all interiors and stuff, you walk through places, it's nuts. Very high fidelity. It's probably because the streets are so narrow that they're able to like occlude everything and just, you know, everything that's in sight is very high detail because there isn't that much in sight ever. Still, very impressive looking. Maybe one of the nicest things I've ever seen. Not like in an aesthetic sense like Ghost of Tsushima, which is both graphically impressive and aesthetically impressive, but you know, like in terms of raw graphics at least, very impressive. And the combat is overhauled. It doesn't use the stance switching this time. I guess it went back to form with just one skill tree based on the dragon style. That splits into things like stuff for heat actions and life skills, which are just like adventure mode stuff, more sprinting, more XP from things, more money, increased drop rates of stuff. And then a combat tree, which are, you know, new moves, passive bonuses like attack speed, or damage after doing certain things, enabling parries, stuff like that. And then you can also spend experience points on, like, raw stats, such as health, damage, defense. And there was one more. Heat gauge. Where am I? Am I in Sasau? I am. I went deep into Sasau and didn't even notice, dude. Oh well. We know where to go now, at least.
Yeah.
And the experience system. It's still not using the money, which again I liked before. So money is once again a little useless. They did have like a money sink you can do, but you don't see any results from it really, aside from the main quests associated with it. So yeah, it's like experience again, but the experience was split into categories rather than just being one bar. So now it looks something more like Fable's experience system. You got like the red, the blue, the green, purple. But they don't come from doing specific things necessarily. Like you just get them in even amounts for everything. And some specific tasks will yield more, but like in terms of what you do in combat situations, you will get paid the same just for completing it. It doesn't necessarily matter how you approached it. And that makes things slightly frustrating because I found myself getting bottlenecked by not having enough of one specific type, and there just wasn't a good way to get more of it. Once again, we played on hard, which was the hardest available from the start, but after you beat the game, you unlock legend difficulty. Just like before. I didn't think it was too challenging. I mean, yeah, it kept me on my toes, but I always had consumables. If it sent you into like a longer dungeon type mission, you'd be plenty of healing items dropped around. And it's pretty generous at checkpoints too, so if you ever die, you just hit continue and it'll bring you back with full health. No issues. So, you know, if you get to a boss fight or something, you might be considered just suiciding the first run and actually fighting him once you have your full health. If you came unprepared, that is. But, you know, aside from boss fights, I didn't have too much trouble with most of the stuff.
Yeah.
As long as you keep your stats up, like you're leveling, you're doing all the side missions, it's not too difficult to not fall behind. Finding the good gear might set you back a bit in the mid-game, though. Because I'm sure there was definitely much better stuff than what I had by the end, and I just could not get it, because I didn't know where to look. That was the same as before, because Yakuza isn't like a traditional RPG. You go to convenience stores to buy stuff. You can't just go to a blacksmith and get new armor. You can't craft anything. No, instead you have to find the freaking black market backroom in a fucking porn store. And maybe they'll have like a cool new sword for you or something.
Closer, my friends.
A bulletproof vest. Which... New system, when you combine things with, like, naming conventions, usually, you will get, like, an additional set bonus for equipping things. So you can put, like, a red wristband and a red binding, and, I don't know, a red ring, and that'll give you, like, the blessing of red. And it'll increase your attack damage or something on top of whatever you get from the equipment. That was cool, but I didn't find too many combinations like that. Similar combinations exist for eating at the restaurants, which I don't think was in the previous game, but I remember it from 7. So, like, you go to Smile Burger, you order the small burger, some fries, and a shake. That's the Big Smile King combo. And you get some bonus experience for eating those 3 items together. Which really helps when you're grinding out experience, because that seems to be the one thing everybody has figured out. You just, like, go to the drugstore, buy Appetite, accelerators, I guess. They like empty your stomach, because you can't just eat willy-nilly. You have a stomach now. When that fills up, you stop earning XP from eating food. So you fill it up, you down a bunch of things to empty your stomach, and then you eat more. It's like Greek Christmas, you know? You eat because it tastes good, and then you vomit it out, and then you eat some more. And that's how you get your XP quick, because fights do not give you very much. You get like 15 of each category per fight, and then you'd have like 999 for endgame things. We're gonna have to wait for the boys to get back here. You can read a book in the meantime, though. Hopefully a skill book. Oh. So, I gave like a surprisingly low rating to the previous game just because it was like overwhelming compared to 0. I guess you could say it's a good thing that this game actually opens up with a recap of all the events of the first game. A pretty thorough one. Doesn't go into everything, but if you didn't play 0, then I would recommend just maybe even skipping the first game and going with the recap version, because it'll have about as much impact, really.
Hey, Henry, I'd like a word with you.
And that's all optional. You start the game at like a graveyard, visiting someone who died at the end of the previous game, so you can go there and be like, do you want to hear the story? And, at parts of it, it'll ask if you want to keep going, because it is kind of long. But it will go through the whole thing for you if you'd rather just start with Kiwami too, because of how nice it looks. I thought that was an interesting choice, but, again, considering how mixed that feeling I was about the previous one, it's a good thing. Like, maybe they knew it too, that it just wasn't as good. It was like a B-team product. But they were serious about this one. Hello? Are you talking to me, John Behrman? John Behrman?
Let me guess. It's about that ring?
Yeah. You gave it to Fletch, right?
Yeah.
That's a shame. I had my eye on it. Any idea where he put it? He definitely ain't got it on him.
Sorry, not a clue.
Look here. If you could get it back from him and bring it to me, I'll give you something for your trouble.
Sounds fair enough.
Step in. Hater. Right. So, that was a bit of a tangent, just going into the whole skill tree. I'm not even done talking about, just like before, there are like special tasks you have to do to unlock new tiers of the skill tree or specific moves within it. So, like, towards the late mid-game, you'll start capping out your stats, and you need to get all of them maxed out before you can unlock the final tier of combat abilities. Like, you max all of them out, and then you are able to limit break them and go even further past that. And you need to have all of them limit broken to unlock that final tier But the thing is, you can't just break them individually like you do leading up to the final limit break. You have to have them all maxed before any of them are open to limit break. If that makes any sense. So that happened like literally in the end sequence for me. I just dumped a bunch of points into stuff before the final boss because I finally got that one type of experience that I needed to limit break. And yeah, there's tasks you gotta do to get specific moves, so, you know, you gotta do the sub-stories to find out what's what. Most of them are just heat actions, thankfully, which doesn't really matter. You got one, it's good enough. But they're funny, they're creative, so it's nice to get them. But, you know, some of them are combat abilities, though. Those ones were easier to get. I got most of them. Pretty sure I missed out on a heat action related to the Mahjong submission because I cannot for the life of me play fucking Mahjong. Like the one thing I left uncompleted. There's probably more though. I didn't even walk into the shogi parlor because I remember going on a rant about shogi just like I did about Mahjong at some point. Probably when we talked about 7. But, you know, in the same vein, shogi, just more complicated chess. Mahjong, just more complicated poker. Why do they use tiles instead of cards when they also have card games? God will never know. God, I am not seeing Fletcher. Did he not make it back? Probably help if I equipped the quest in it. The ring of bookish. Yeah, Stefan's still way up there. I've been walking around for nothing. Maybe we should sleep till morning and he'll appear? Right, so what happened to the combat? Basically, you have the dragon style. It controls more or less the same as it did before. Like, you have the move set of the brawler, and you got the dodges of the speed tree, benefits from attacking guys from behind. You can pull out weapons whenever. The D-pad is actually like a weapon wheel now instead of stance switching, so you can equip 3 at once. Anything you pick up on the street, you can, like, push the fist button to stash for later. Then you can go take it to get repaired if it breaks once you've stashed it. Then you got charge attacks. So, like, your X combo is the light attacks, and you have a heavy finisher, which you can do at any stage in the light combo to do a different move. And when conditions are met, you can press the finisher to do a heat action. So that'll be something like you're standing near a wall or you're standing near a pole. Those do different things. You're standing near a bridge. You can imagine what happens there. But then there are funny things, again, related to the sub-stories. That are like, you're near the noodle shop and you're regular at the place, so the guy, like, gives you discount noodles, but he'll also throw you a bowl of noodles to throw in this guy's face and burn it. Hot noodles. I'm supposed to ride all the way out here, dog. He's probably bugging. I'm just gonna move on. Or like, there was one quest where there was a janitor for like a public park and he shat his pants, so I had to buy him some new underwear. And then he became my boy. So now when you fight around that park, you can just press Y like ambiently just because you're in the park. And he'll like throw a fucking used plunger at you, and then you do a QTE to catch it, and that'll be your heat action. You, like, take the plunger and plunge the guy's face. So those were fun, those were creative, there's like a lot of them, they don't get too stale too quick. The ones that are most readily available are simple enough to not be overdone, and then, you know, the more played out ones, like getting tossed the plunger, that only happens in that one public park, so it's like you see it kind of rarely, keeps it fresh. Right, so you can also do grabs, of course, and grab a guy, and that usually opens up various situational heat actions. That's how most of them are started. Though there are ones that are like, you block an attack, or you're locked onto a guy and you press it right before they attack, stuff like that. Also, if you grab a guy and you start mashing B, you'll like knee him in the stomach, and now set him loose, and then you can give him the little Solonge Bowser. While you're spinning him, you can like do AoE damage by knocking guys into him, and maybe you can throw him off a bridge or something accidentally. That's pretty cool. And then your light and heavy attacks have charge actions as well, which are pretty useful. They usually turn them into AoE things, and like you can do them while running for different moves. There's enough variety to it. It's a fully realized moveset. It just feels like a little less than having the stances, but I don't know. I don't dislike it. I feel like there's potential for it to be better than the stances, but it's like there's just not quite enough there yet. I'm not sure what's missing. Maybe proper combos. Aside from just XXXY, XXY, XY. Like, you know, there needs to be more like XX back quarter turn Y, stuff like that when you play in any other fighting game. We're gonna talk to Kuno and get something moving first before we keep talking.
I'm looking for the Ring of Bacchus. Fletching is supposed to have it, but he's hidden it.
You won't have it easy then. Fletch is as tricky as they come.
I see everyone made it back in one piece.
Thank Christ.
Not fletching.
Someone up there must like us. Somehow we always manage to get out of these.
Well, someone up there, or someone down there.
Yeah, right. Well, the main thing is we made it.
So we'll go patrolling again?
We will, but not you.
What?
Why not?
I found out where Jakey is. I want you to grab him and beat everything he knows about Hagen out of him.
Well, that sounds like a good plan. But why me?
For one thing, you're reliable. And for another, you're not likely to wring his neck on sight. Which can't be said for the rest of us.
Alright, I'll accept that.
Where is he hiding?
He isn't, the little shit. He's drinking away his 30 pieces of silver in some alehouse, bold as brass. The inn on the meadow, or something like that.
The inn in the glade?
Yeah, that's the one.
What are you going to be doing in the meanwhile?
We'll go on patrol as normal. It could be a trick, you see, to lure us into a trap.
But what if they're waiting to spring a trap on me?
It could well be, Henry, so you should be very careful. But one thing's for sure, Jakey won't be there forever. And someone's got to go and check it out.
I'll get going then.
Go. And when you find him, Deal with him however you see fit. Just make sure you find out what he knows first.
Right, Chief.
Alright, Chief.
Yeah! Are you...
The inn in the glade is this one up here, right? Yeah. I guess we'll go there from Ledechko. So as I was saying, man, the combat is just missing something, but it's still pretty good, and like the animation quality went way up. Everything looks so fluid, especially with the cloth physics on like Kiryu's suit and stuff. But like, I don't know, they must be using actual motion capture now instead of, you know, animation. Because everything just looks so fluid, so good, it is crazy. What else the weapons, right? They all have like unique styles to them, and you can find skill books sometimes to change the style to be something more usable with some of them. Like, maybe you'll go to the batting cages and you'll get the book that like, gives you the essence of bat or whatever. And that'll unlock like a new finisher, and then there'll be something else like batting techniques or something, batting techniques primer. And that'll unlock like a different moveset for the bat. Same thing goes to like golf clubs or the Cali sticks, I think I had to get a primer for. A few other weapons, but you know, that happens. That was cool. It was cool that I got like more proficient with something that was already kind of strong. The weapons themselves have very limited durability though, which is a little annoying. And it gives you something to spend your money on. You gotta take it to the shop and get it repaired. But I don't know, I wish they were maybe just a little less strong and had more uses for the most part, because some of them only get like 8 hits, 12 hits, and that's just kind of shit. You don't even want to use it. That said, I did take out like a flaming demon katana and kill the final boss in about 4 hits. No heat actions required. Kind of trivialized the whole thing, but you know, I did also just dump my damage upgrades before that, so it felt right. I guess that's all there is to the combat changes. Story-wise, this one is pretty good. It stands on its own, whereas Kiwami 1 felt like a continuation of Zero's story, and it just piggybacked off a lot of what was built there. It does not stand well on its own. Basically, all that stuff was wrapped up in the first game. Like, a lot of those characters are dead or just out of the picture for various reasons. So this one, while it does still continue, like, directly a year after, and that little recap does help you catch up to speed, it's very much its own thing, stands on its own, characters are all a lot stronger. And yeah, it's just a lot better. Longer too, I think it took me like 50 hours this time. Though, you know, I did engage with most of the side content. As far as that goes though, I think there are less mini-games. I think. It's hard to say. There's like less stuff that I was interested in doing, I guess. But the arcade had like Virtua Fighter and Virtua On in it. It also had this mini game called Toilets, where you drink a lot before coming into the arcade, right? To get your bladder meter full. And then you play a game where you like try to shoot your piss at a target in the urinal. To, you know, and like train your aiming and keep the floors clean. But you're like measuring this piss score of the last person who pissed before you. Allegedly. Were this to be a real concept, I think that's fucking hilarious. But the game itself is, they're two different ones. One, you just like have to have a full bladder and blow some gale force piss to make this chick's panties show. Like you're playing The Wind and you're trying to blow her skirt. And the other one is like a competition between two pompadour thugs, and you're trying to like match his piss stream before you blow him away, I guess. Like, you know, the Dragon Ball Key Blast fight, and you just like the Harry Potter laser duel thing. And that one's pretty difficult. There's like a meter, and you gotta like hold R or L to make your thing go faster or slower, and like it doesn't hold still. You have to keep feathering it to match the stream until your gauge fills up enough to blast them. So, funny concept. I wonder if it was real or is real. But we don't talk about is real.
Yeah.
That's all there is in the arcade, aside from the claw machines, which are always there. A little disappointing. There's normally like 4 games in the arcades, but you only got the 2.
Jesus Christ,
I'm looking for a young fella by the name of Jakey.
a cheeky-looking stripling.
That'll be him, all right.
Well, I don't like to snitch on my guests. It ain't good for business. But since it's you, I'll make an exception.
Thanks, Andrew.
Well, I was gonna throw him out on his ear at first. He strolls in here like some lord, ordering people around. He's nothing but a snot-nosed brat. But then, he showed me the weight of his person. Well, business is business. A couple of days. Yesterday evening, he was boozing here. And then went off to the woods with some wench.
To the woods? That's a very broad term in these parts.
Someone said they saw them heading south across the meadow. There's pine woods there and cliffs, and that's where they went. The girl's father was here with her, a merchant. As soon as he noticed she was gone, he went off to look for her. You might meet him.
All right. Thanks. Would you have a job for her? Maybe you're in need of some supplies?
Fresh meat.
No problem. I can go to Ratai and buy some for you.
I could send a stable boy for that. I'm talking about game.
Game? But that's near impossible to buy. I'd have to hunt it myself. And that's against the law. Ah.
Of course. I'll pay you well for anything you bring me. Even more if it's something in particular I want. And if you help me out here and there, I'll teach you something useful in return.
That's an interesting proposition. Are you after some meat?
Indeed. I was going to do hair and cream sauce. I've got everything I need, except the hair.
Alright. Let's see, I didn't have a marker because it's its own thing. The batting cages, they made it a lot funner. Basically, you have like a 3x3 square, and it'll tell you that the ball is coming to one square. But the balls all have different types of throws, you know? It could be a curveball, it can be a screwball, it can be a dipper, it can be a drifter. And when you pick a challenge round, it'll tell you what types of balls can be thrown, and you have to, like, get a feel for what each ball position means, what ball's gonna come. And, you know, there's a slight timing element to making it actually hit a home run versus just tapping it or whatever. And, you know, it's got the virtual bases, so if you just hit it, like, kinda good, you'll get 1 base, or you can get 2 bases, and those add up till you get the home run, where they all cash in. You know, normal baseball stuff, except you're fighting a pitching machine. You know, since you're just moving a cursor on a grid, there's no aiming, it doesn't, you know, do that annoying thing where you look over and then it snaps back to the center when you let go of the stick. You're not trying to delicately hold it in a specific place while it's fighting against you the whole time. Still, in order to get the prizes for the baseball thing, you have to get like a crap ton of points, and there's not really a quick way to get them. You do eventually unlock like a long-form home run competition where you can just keep going as long as you keep passing scores. But even that takes a long time to get to the point where it gives you a decent amount of points. Like, it might honestly be quicker to just keep going for the high-level things and winning. And there's also a golf mini-game, which I actually had a lot of fun with. It has 2 separate modes. The first one, there's like a moving pole. Like, every time you take a swing, it'll move. And there'll be obstructions hanging from the ceiling, as well as the wind direction, like both strength and direction, the wind vector.
Please untie me.
Hello? Someone's tied up.
Hey, Henry! My friend!
There he is.
I'm glad you're here, Henry. I thought I'd be stuck here till Judgment Day.
What the fuck are you doing here?
I picked up this wench at the inn, see? And we wanted to go somewhere quiet. Only the bitch whacked me on the head with a rock and fucked off with all my coin.
Did she now? And which way did she go?
I haven't a clue, but I reckon as far away from her father as she can get. She won't be going back in a hurry. I've met some mad wenches in my time, but that one was a piece of work. She could have just asked me for coin, instead of trying to smash my skull right away. And then to leave me like this.
Poetic justice.
I say that's the popcorn in the kettle black.
Listen, Henry, that thing with Hagen, I didn't want to, really. But they kept threatening me. And then they offered me coin. Jesus, Henry, I've never seen a pile of coin like that in my life. Kuno wouldn't give me as much as half a groschen for a cheap wench.
Yeah, my heart bleeds. Enough. Tell me where I can find Hagen.
Hagen? Lord Zool? Yeah, I'll tell you, Henry. We're still mates, right?
No, I don't know if I'd go as far as mates, but let's just say I understand.
I knew you and me would understand each other. So you'll let me go if I tell you.
Let you go? That rock must have really scrambled your brains.
Henry, I'm really sorry. I swear. Those fellas scared the wits out of me.
I can believe that. But why didn't you tell us about it? You didn't have to betray us.
I don't know. I was confused. Please, let me go.
First, tell me where Hagen is, and then we'll see.
I won't say anything as long as I'm tied up. I know how that goes. I'll be left here for the crows.
Well, that's true, but come on.
I know what you mean, Jakey. Kuno's no less of a bastard than that Hagen. They're all birds of a feather.
Yeah, right? But why ride with him then?
Because Kuno's on my side. I didn't pick him, and maybe Sir Radzig wouldn't have either if he had a choice. But one thing I know. If you don't tell me where Hagen is, more innocent people will suffer.
Oh, I suppose you're right. Hagen's planning to raid some village. Samapesh, I think? He's gonna go there in person, along with what's left of his band. So, are you gonna untie me now?
To jail with you.
I'll untie you, all right? And take you where you belong.
What? What are you saying? Where?
To jail.
But you can't. We had an agreement.
We didn't agree on anything. My conscience is clear.
Agreed to untie you, which I did. Right, the golf minigame. So, you know, basically the wind will be blowing like northeast, right? And you just need to make the ball go straight. Let's say you got a completely clear sky. So you're going to turn yourself a bit north-right, and then because it's going north, the ball's going to go a little faster than you expect, as well as drift to the east. So you're going to underswing the power, and, you know, you want the precision to be spot on, but you also want to aim a little bit to the west, and that'll make the ball get, like, flown into the pole, or the hole. And, like, that's the whole goal of the game, and, like, I found it really satisfying to figure out, like, the correct strength and accuracy you need and where you should be aiming. It's still a bit annoying to fail a hole based on, you know, not tapping at the correct time. It's a 2-tap system, one for distance and one for accuracy. It's not too hard to land what you need, but, like, it's already still guesswork. And to add, like, an element of
Pour yourself a bit of fresh milk
I
to
wasn't
drink.
fast enough to it, it just makes things a little more frustrating. Still, I got it all easy enough. And the second mode. The second mode has once again, like a 3x3 bingo board. It's actually called bingo. So your goal is to get like rows of 3, like diagonals, straights, whatever. And every one that you knock out, the board moves and it'll rotate, but if you miss, it won't, so it'll stay until you get it. And your goal is, of course, to get all 9 spaces filled, and you got like 10 swings to do it. Go kill some hares. We still have to do that disguise quest while we're up there. Maybe I'll take care of that. Ooh, blue house.
Yeah.
Bet a big bear lives there. So yeah, the rules work the same there. You still have to deal with the wind vector and like aim things off from where you're actually trying to aim. But without the sky obstructions, it makes things like a bit more predictable. It's just some of the shots can be like really douchey if you didn't plan them out correctly. So you gotta prioritize which ones you can hit when things will be the easiest to land hits on. And it took quite a few tries, but I got it. Yeah. I don't really give a shit about golf, but I had a pretty decent time doing that. Which tracks with my past history. I don't really play sports games, but, you know, Mario Golf I enjoy. And I was kind of interested in playing Golf Story, but I never got around to that. Also, Quidditch World Cup 2007. That's a good game.
Yeah.
What other mini games are there? The Cabaret Club. It's literally the same exact thing from Yakuza 0. It's actually a sequel to that storyline, if that's interesting to anyone. I don't know, it's goofy. But the gameplay is the same, simple, been there, done that. Still went through easy enough, and it was quick cash. Quick cash and quick experience, but like... I wish that they expanded it a bit, and it wasn't the same exact thing. But whatever, no complaints from that. And the other one was Majima Construction. Your boy Majima has left the Dojo clan. And he decided to start his own construction company. His whole family left with them, because I guess that's a rule or something. Not that they had to stick with him after the fact, but the whole family gets exiled. Either that or they followed him because Majima's fucking crazy. And they're afraid of him. Anyways, he started his own construction plan. He got his hands on it like a prime piece of real estate. It's going to be the future of Kamurocho. And he's got like other construction teams coming to raid his site and damage his equipment till it becomes too expensive to keep working on it. So that he'll sell them the contract. So when you join him, you do like top-down squad defense things. Like you recruit bosses from the street and people you do side missions for to help you fight, and like you command them as the foreman. And they have abilities they can perform, but like this is, you know, it's a strategy game. You are no longer fighting brawler style. Kiryu is barely involved. How much rabbit meat did I need? Air meat 6. That's easy. I'm impressed by how much effort went into it, but like, it's basically a tower defense game. Like, guys come in lines and they just march one by one. And you got your strong guys that go and beat their asses. The guys have like classes, like they got attackers, defenders, and mixed guys. And sometimes they'll have their own special properties, like sometimes they'll have a handgun or a bat or a rocket launcher or something, but there's no real way of telling until you actually put them on the field. And, you know, you just defend waves, protect your equipment. The more guys you recruit, you can get upgrades to the equipment to make it have more health. And sometimes collectibles spawn in for money, which you use to heal guys. Give them promotions and stuff. very basic. You can get away with not leveling anyone up pretty easily, I guess. I don't know, I just wish it was faster. I didn't dislike it, but all the missions took so long compared to the cabaret battles. And, you know, once you do have strong guys, it becomes that much more brain dead. You're just like, okay, you put them there, that's where the guys are coming from. You don't have to move anyone anymore. You just watch them get mowed down. And, like, there's no way to speed it up. Bit of a letdown.
God be with you.
Still, same exact plotline you expect from the side gigs. Just, there are 3 guys, and there's a secret big bad at the end. And, you know, you just do the thing a lot.
I've got the meat you wanted.
Going in tournament.
Great. Nothing like the aroma of fresh game. Here you are. You've earned your groschen.
Are you after some meat?
Certainly. I'm expecting a traveling merchant who loves venison from roe deer. I'll be mighty grateful if you brought me some fresh stuff. Take care.
Roe deer 10. Sorry about the breathing and the coughing. I'm starting to have a bit of an asthma attack. But I think we can stick it out for a little bit. There's a dart game. I don't know if that was in it before. It's like painfully simple. It's just darts. There's like a solo game where you can challenge someone to a normal game. Shogi and Mahjong, of course. Whole gambling hall with, you know, gambling stuff plus Japanese gambling things like Hanafuda. The arena's back. It's more doable this time, but still there's a point grind, which is frustrating to say the least. However, by engaging with the arena, you can fight specific guys, like the random bosses, and beating them will open you up to acupuncture experiences, which will unlock special moves you can do. So it is worth it to just stick around in it, even if you don't go through the entire arena. Well, I did. I just did enough to get all the acupuncture abilities out of it. That's a deer. Is it a roe? I think so. I have no arrows. I have arrows. Are you kidding me? Weird.
Yeah.
These are normal deer, they are not roe. Which means I gotta run over to Sassow and turn this shit in. We can worry about the roe later, I guess. What was I saying? Mini games. I think that's all of them, you know? There wasn't a babe battle. The karaoke's still there, but it's like almost hidden. It's very difficult to find. And the selection of songs is about the same, I think. The host club thing, that's still there, I guess. It's a part of the cabaret club storyline. You can earn bonus XP for the hosts by taking them on dates, and you do the whole chatting minigame. Oh, I know one I forgot about. The weird fucking porn photo shoots. Okay, so the guy tells you he has an idea for like a club where you go and get paid to take pictures. Like you are an amateur photographer working for amateur models. Working for professional models, I mean, like role reversal, right? So he sends Kiryu in with a camera, like CGI Kiryu, and he's got himself in like a little streamer window in the corner of the screen like I am right now. Holding a camera and making weird faces. And then you've got a live action babe doing videos. And the whole point of the minigame is to, like, do some very, very aggressive flirting. You pick, like, 3-line strings to try and make a coherent sentence, and there's, like, a correct one. But you get points if you just pick anything that makes sense, and you have to, like, make very quick decisions to get them together. So, you know, she'd be like, does this pose do anything for you? Like, oh my god. Or, you know, you can mess them push, oh my feet. And, you know, if you get enough of those points accumulated, you get the, extended scene where they, like, play with their tits or something crazy. And you unlock more videos to go through with them putting on different outfits, eventually moving on to the bikinis and bunny girl suits and maid outfits. So yeah, it's softcore porn, my guys. You're just watching softcore porn and doing some like very cringeworthy flirting with them. There are only 2 models, but they'll have, like, at least 6 outfits to go through. One's, like, kind of a cutesy girl, and the other's, like, more of a MILF vibe. Sexy MILF. So, you know, you got stuff to appeal to both flavors, but, you know, they're both kind of hot. NGL. To me, the best part, though, is when you succeed, and you see CGI Kiryu lower his camera and just be like, yeah. Just that fucking nod he does, that has to be a meme, I can't believe it's not. Okay, I think that's all of them. So, we briefly talked about the story. Obviously I don't need to spoil anything, I just said it was a lot better. One of the side missions had us talk to a director of the Yakuza Sunset movies. And apparently the 3rd movie was really bad because they switched directors. And I'm pretty sure this is like a self-insert for the current director of Yakuza. Because I don't know the actual development history, but again, it felt like that's what they were trying to do here. So I guess that means that Yakuza 3 had a different director, and this guy apparently has only worked on comedies before. So the action in Yakuza 3 feels off, while the story, like the believability of the characters and stuff, is all like a new level of good. So in addition to it not getting the Kiwami treatment yet, like just being a simple up-res remaster, it's also just like kind of fumbles on that front, I guess. Which means people have very mixed opinions about Yakuza 3. And it means I'll probably hold off on playing it for a while until the Kiwami goodness rubs off of me at least. But, you know, I'm holding out for a Kiwami 3 to happen.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just thought it was interesting that that was in the game. I don't know how much of it is like one-to-one relevant. I know that the original director is like the head of their studio now. Like, I guess that's what happened. He's not making games, he's working on multiple projects. I know the guy was also responsible for Shenmue. So, you know, maybe he went to go work on Shenmue 3 or something for a while. And he also might have become an actual Yakuza? My friend said that, but, like, I have no idea how you would look up that information, because I sure as shit can't just Google it. Well, I went the complete wrong way, but looks like we're still on track. Right, so Tambori, I forgot to mention, normally you're stuck in Kamurocho, but this one has Sotenbori, aka, Utenbori. So, you know, you got a second town to explore. It's a little smaller, but, arguably nicer, little river town. Lots of cabaret clubs around, feels... yeah, just nicer in my opinion. Everything's grander. Less of a gross city, it's not Tokyo. But, you know, it is something that we have seen before. It was where Majima's story took place in Yakuza 0. And, you know, the layout's the same, but it's not the 80s, so you get to see it in 2007 or whatever. Which isn't a problem at all. That's how things have worked with the games for all of them. You know, it's always been Kamurocho. And then, you know, you get to see this map in a different time period, too. I don't know if it sticks around for the other games or not. I'm assuming it does. Just like he got shoehorned into 7. That one had, you know, Yokohama being the big map, and then Kamurocho and Sotenbori as well. Those can be a little stressful when you get to them, because you've got to, like, eat at all the restaurants to get completion points, but aside from that, not a big deal. Plenty to do in each. You bounce between them all with the story before you can eventually move freely between them. And, you know, they both feel very distinct from each other culturally, which is interesting.
Yeah.
The asthma's getting a bit worse. I know that I have stopped to use my machine on stream before, and again, I don't know if that's what I want to do. I don't know, I am sleepy. Maybe I'll just cut it off at like 2 hours here whenever we get our thing built at Pribyslavitz. That can be a good milestone. But, you know, I definitely have to like shut off the camera and mute it at least, because I'm not supposed to show drug use, even if it's for medical purposes, on stream at least. So that would just be like 10 minutes of silence, if that's what I decide to go with, but I don't know that well.
Good out to you.
If I had an inhaler, I'd just do that and be over with it, but I do not at the moment. I have to wait till the end of the year for health insurance to kick in.
So I got the game. Good for you, Master Butcher.
Splendid.
I'm sure I've talked about how stupid that is, but I don't understand why you can only get health insurance in fucking November. And you have to wait till January for it to actually take effect. Like, why doesn't it work like literally every other insurance? You just buy it anytime year round. You get it when you need it. You don't have to wait a fucking year or die. Wait a year to not die, I mean.
Look, I don't have.
Seems like a massive oversight to me.
Got something. Good boy.
I don't think I turned it in.
So I got the game.
Let's take it. Looks good. Here's something for your effort. I've got something else for you. The armourer's wife wants to make air-offal soup. I tried to slip her goose organs, but she wasn't.
She wants to make
air-offal. Innards. Can you get those?
Ah.
Good luck then.
Let's make awful soup. Five hair awful. How much money do I have? Not a lot. Yeah, I don't know that we're getting that job done. Fuck it, I gotta pause and take some medicine. I'll be back in like 10 minutes, dog. But I need to shut off the camera and mute the mic in the meantime, so, it's been a while since you've seen this, but, burp, 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 whatever, something like that. Mic's on, camera's back. I don't remember how to... There we go. Everything good? Cool, cool. We're back, I can breathe. I'm still gonna, like, clear my throat like that pretty frequently, because, you know, at first it was me accumulating mucus, now it's me getting rid of that accumulated mucus. It's just the way of things. Sorry about the interruption, though. I was not expecting that. Anywho, we need to get some rabbit offal, right? So we'll do that. Rabbits are all over the place. I just need to make my way out into the countryside, I guess. Out into the woods. So already talking about Yakuza Kiwami 2. Went over the minigames. We briefly mentioned the story. I don't feel like going into much more detail. Just, you know, it was better. Stood on its own a lot better. It's a decent enough place to start, considering that it has that, like, very thorough recap. Gameplay improved, but still feels like it's missing something. That it took me like 40-50 hours this time, which is longer. And it did have 2 maps. I forgot to mention that until much later on. We just finished talking about Soot and Bordy, didn't we? Once again, the money, I did mention it before, but like, there is expensive gear to buy. I just not entirely sure where to find it. So once you have whatever gear you got, you're probably just gonna end up with a crap ton of money, and there's not a whole lot to do with it. Some of the mini games require some investing. Some food, it's just like you can convert it in XP by eating stuff and buying the medicines to eat more. And you can go to ATMs and donate it to the orphanage, which you grew up at, so you're like giving back to that. You're trying to keep the place afloat. Since Kazuma-san is not around anymore to fund it, you need to become the new Kazuma, I guess. That's like all there is to that. Again, you still end up with just a crap ton of money, not much to do with it. Which I really thought that the whole money to XP thing from Zero was genius. Obviously, they stopped doing it because, like, money flying out of people constantly doesn't really work when you're not in the fucking time period where everybody's rich anymore. But, you know, it was like such a perfect solution to something that's probably an issue in all their games. They kind of fixed it in 7 by making you homeless, so like money was really hard to come by at first, and even later on it was too, but like you had ways of getting it when you need it, then there's the crafting dump to really eat up your money. But, like, you know, I was always struggling for cash in Like a Dragon. But not this one. So I guess they did eventually work out a better solution, but I don't know, dog. I don't really know what else to say, you know? I'm a little disappointed with how few minigames there are. It feels like there's even less than the previous one, and again, Zero just had so many. But the story was much better, and as I mentioned last time by how I was disappointed with the story, it's like the main reason I come to these games. They're actually really great on that front. And, you know, they're pretty funny when they want to be too, but that's like not the main draw. There were some cheesy scenes, I gotta say that. Like... the whole gimmick of this game, I guess you'll say, is, you've got like a buddy cop, you know? You get taken into protective custody because you've got like a whole war that's gonna spark and your death is what's gonna ignite it, you know? So you get a girl cop who comes and arrests you, and she's just supposed to watch over you. It's like a staged arrest. And you can guess where that goes, because it's a girl cop, and yeah, a girl cop. But, you know, when they introduce her, she's like a total hard ass. But then, like, at every important moment where she's supposed to be a fucking hard ass, and you're like, yeah, it's gonna be so cool if she does this, like the man cop would have. She just, like, turns into a whiny baby woman. You know, there are, like, valid reasons for it. Eventually, the stuff gets, like, tied into her past and her family and stuff, but, like... I don't know, she gets, like... turned into a female symbol rather than what her character was, I guess. I don't know how to talk about this kind of thing, really. Without sounding pandery, white knighty, you know. I'm not allowed to be on the side of feminism. Are these some boys from before? Fuck nah.
Yeah.
You know, aside from that, it's like... it's normal, okay? The game came out in, like, 2000 whatever on the PS2. Like... badass women weren't really a thing at the time, I suppose. And, you know, in Japan, things are a lot more conservative on that front, too, you know? There's always the anime episode where the girl freaks out about how she's got to cook for the boys, and that if she can't cook, then she's not wife material, and then her whole life's over, because, you know, women belong in the kitchen, and, things are very much still like that in Japan, so it's, like, both a time period thing and, like, a cultural thing. That she got turned into the woman symbol, whatever I'm trying to express here. Still, it's fine aside from that. Just like a minor annoyance to me, being a rather progressive person. I don't even like saying that much, I just think that my thoughts are reasonable and everybody should have them. You know, I'm not progressive, I'm just correct.
Yeah.
That's a joke, of course. I know that sounds very, very full of myself. But it's only like 50% a joke. Of course, I stand by my opinions, that's how they work.
Yeah.
Just forward thinking here. I think that sounds better than progressive, because what I see as progress might be regressive in someone else's opinions, right? but my thoughts are towards bettering society's future. Let's say that. That's basically the same thing, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
In fact, this is probably a conversation for next time, but Disco Elysium has like a lot of very political stuff in it. And, you know, I never thought that I was like a moderate politically. I didn't know where I fell. I thought that I just made my own choices for everything. But yeah, apparently I am like a centrist or whatever, and that I want to try and maintain status quo and make very small gradual changes to things. Which is kind of what I was talking about last time, when I was mentioning how the state elections all ended, and how I'm never happy with our candidates because they're all fucking radicals. And, you know, that's, they only won because they got media attention because they're radicals. But, you know, I guess putting those two things together just now, I like it kind of cements it in a way. I'm not sure I still agree with totally aligning myself with whatever faction like that. Like, everything's case by case in my opinions, but I guess so. If that just sounds like me trying to say that I'm special, it's like you unlock thoughts in Disco Elysium based on the things that you say. So, like, yeah, the first thing I got was centrist, but, you know, I eventually got some of the communists, I eventually got some of the fascists. Like, I think I have unlocked the thoughts for saying enough of each of the dialogue types, probably. Though, there's like a scoreboard when you open the pause menu that tells you how much of each you've done, I guess. So, you know, predominantly centrist, but like a little bit of everything. Which I guess also does hold in that I think that there are some socialist policies that can be easily enforced without converting to a full communist government for everyone's betterment. So they're like putting bread on the table, like, how much fucking wheat do we have? Make bread free, dog. Be like water, be free. The waters are actually running out, so you can't do that, but, you know, we throw out how much fucking food, how are there starving people? You've got, like, most of Detroit is completely abandoned. How are there homeless people? How are houses expensive if there's so much housing that is worthless? Stuff like that. Anyways, that was a whole big tangent about this one small little grievance I had with the storytelling in Yakuza, not even Disco Elysium. To get back on topic, And, you know, we're going to get off that topic again because I think that's all I have to say, really. I was already trying to wrap things up when I came to that tangent. Jesus Christ, I need water. Yeah. So, final verdict. Is it better than 0? I don't know. I mean, it's, like, impressive in a lot of places, but, like, in terms of this being a fun game, maybe 0 still has it beat, and then, like, story-wise, 0 is still crazier. Like, that shit was so good, though it could just be because that was the first one I played that I hold it in such high regard. But, you know, again, assuming the director side quest thing is true, that means that the writer was not the same who wrote this one, and it makes sense for it to be, like, a little not as good in that regard. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's probably objectively a little worse, but it's still pretty good. Ah, yuck. What was I on about? Comparing it to 0. Because that's what we did with the previous rating. I was like a point off from 0 because I was a little disappointed with the story. And otherwise the game was like the same, just less content. This time, I don't know, content's like maybe a little equal, but like still less mini games, which, you know, slight disappointment, but then like graphically very impressive. They kind of counteract that. Gameplay, I appreciate that they went somewhere else with it instead of just using the same system, but it's still not quite there. It's not perfect. Missing something, as I said before. So, I don't know, I think it might be fair to just give it like an even score equal to 0. So, what's that, like a 7, an 8? Something like that. I don't know, I feel like I gave 0 an 8, if I recall correctly, so, this would also be an 8, I suppose. Kiwami 2, 8. That's how I feel today. And you know, for getting it for like $5, might as well be a fucking 10, you know what I'm saying? Right, I did play another game, the Flash game. It's not really a Flash game, it was technically bought on Steam, but it was made in Flash, I think. Jesus Christ, does anybody remember Deadly 30? It was two-man team. They're both, like, Flash animators from Newgrounds. They still have stuff on YouTube. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fans of these two guys, but I'm nostalgic for their artwork, at least. And, you know, I remember when their game came out, it was, like, a big deal, because these are, like, guys from YouTube and Newgrounds, you know, and they, like, made an actual game. I was like, whoa, that's so cool, they just did that? Like, I want to do that. You know, this is in the indie game boom. Super Meat Boy, Binding of Isaac were just coming out. Anyways, you got Deadly 30. It's like a side-scrolling zombie defense game. What I was expecting was something along the lines of Last Stand Union City, which is very good. What we get is kind of like that, but like very, very like underbaked in comparison. There's just not very much to it. So, you have a month to survive, right? 30 days. You start with the American soldier. You just, I don't know what the fuck happened, but you find yourself in Zombieville. You run into a shack, repair a generator, and then you survive the first night. Shoot some zombos. There's like an ammo box where you can buy more ammo with the scrap you collect, or you can upgrade your boots or your armor. You can purchase some defenses, like upgrading your walls, buying turrets, buying more ammo. Med packs. Probably a couple other things, I don't remember. Upgrading the guns once you unlock new guns to buy. I collected all the awful I needed, right? Yeah. So yeah, you do that first night, and then the day comes, and like the zombies stop coming, so you're kind of just go off and explore, see what's out there. And you can go left or right. To the left is the cornfields, to the right is the snow world. And these are just linear levels. You have a jump button, but jumping is seemingly entirely useless. You just walk forward, collect loot. Sometimes it'll be like a car or something you can dismantle, but you have to sit there and do it, which in the later days, the zombies are more aggressive and like waves will come out periodically during the daytime. So sitting still will be a little more risky, I guess. And you just, you know, collect scrap and get back before the sun goes down. You can technically survive at night, but like it's only viable for the first few nights. And you get an achievement for doing so. But you have to worry about losing all your ammo and then like getting hit and stuff. Then you go back to your base and cash in, survive the next night. Eventually you'll run into the other two survivors. You start with the American who has like a machine gun, an LMG. And then you will find a Russian who has a rifle. And a German, a Nazi lady who has a shotgun.
Yeah.
And you can switch between them freely. They all follow you regardless, and they all shoot on their own, though not very good. Though it's hard to say who to pick, but generally I'm gonna say you do not want to play the American, because he can do well enough shooting on his own. Whereas the German lady, she's gonna like aim at the floor or aim too high, where she can really just aim straight and annihilate everything. And the Russian, if he like gets headshots lined up, he can just take down entire rows of things, and it's also pretty important to play him. But I don't know, I was playing the German for the most part. They'll have their own guns, of course. I just said that. You have an experience meter. It just goes up when you kill shit. Takes a while to go up, but if you happen to die, like you stayed out too long and got eaten when night came, you go back to the menu. Your experience meter does not reset to whatever it was. You keep that. So it's almost a roguelike in that sense, but it seems like a bit of a bug, a bit of an oversight, because there's a period where I just kept dying for a while, and I gained a couple levels, and like by the end of the game I just felt like I should have been still gaining levels. Like they ran out way too early. I hit the max too quick. I don't know if it's because I lost so many times or if it's just supposed to be like that, though.
What the hell was that? Who are you?
Shop guard.
Can I do anything to help?
Yes. You can let me in, you son of a bitch. I'm not gonna let this awful rot in my inventory. Alright, so yeah, you walk left, you walk right. The two other maps at the far ends of the other two, there's like the canyons and the castle. And there's nothing really special about either of them. It's just the further you go out, the more scrap you're going to find. But, you know, then it takes longer to get back, and you're probably going to get eaten alive if you go out too far. So the further the game goes, the less far you want to go out, usually. But then upgrading your boots increases your move speed, so you can end up pushing out far for a while at least. Does the shop guard live here?
Mother of God.
Hello.
Good day, Henry.
Hey, what the...
I hope I can be a...
I call a catchpole.
I have them meet you.
Splendid.
Do this in front of his wife.
Looks... I've got another order. There's demand.
Sure.
Take care.
Alright, I'll get out of here then. A Ratai Tourney, you know I love those. I'll go do one of those. We're all about getting that money, and then we'll get back to the Band of Bastards. It looks like he finally did reset, so that's good. Maybe I'll even stop and do that on the way there. So yeah, I thought there was going to be like more of a world to explore. There's going to be some light platforming or something. A reason to abandon the base at some point, but or even discover other bases, but that was just not there. The game is a much smaller scope than that. You just come to a dead end and you have to walk back and try not to die. When it comes down to it, you're better off just walking into the first area and walking back, or just unloading the zone and coming back real quick and making your way back to be safe. The first few days, they'll introduce new zombies at a trickle. So, they'll start with the normal ones, then the fast ones, and the beefy ones. Then there are a couple other types to get introduced later, but not too many. None are too unique. They have, like, the boomers from Left 4 Dead. They make the vomit. And they have beefy guys and super beefy guys. And dogs, I think they were. That's about it. And the numbers increase with each day. You can crouch to increase your accuracy and damage slightly. So, you know, you do like crouch shots, I guess a little satisfying. Especially when you do it with the sniper.
Blood will be spilt.
Every 5 days there's like a little animated short, which I guess would have been the appeal, considering that these guys are animators. I didn't think they were too funny, but, you know, whatever. The bad voice acting didn't help. You know, maybe better delivery would have made things funnier. And, you know, you got like stereotypes too. The characters all just say very stereotypical stuff at random, not necessarily provoked by anything. Like the German lady just periodically goes 99999. Or the Russian man, he'd be like, in Soviet Russia, I eat you. You know, very, like, almost racist caricatures of these people. Of course, we don't care because they're Soviets and Russians who are objectively the bad guys, right? And the American guy's just like, "God damn, I love my country." And, you know, that's the most American thing I ever heard. So, hell yeah, brother. Anyways, you level up, you unlock some new things like the turrets and new weapons, new guns. You still have to purchase them, but you unlock them for purchase. The new guns just get like a little more damage, a little more ammo capacity. They're all very straight upgrades. Except for the Russian snipers. I guess because they're all so powerful, his last thing is more like an alien rocket launcher. It doesn't work at all like his rifles do. Still pretty cool, though. I just think that it doesn't have enough ammo capacity to justify it being used instead of a rifle, but it's a matter of taste. It comes in handy with the final base defense on day 30. But for exploring, I would generally prefer to keep a rifle. So, I guess the guy has no idea what a loading screen is, or maybe because there aren't really too many, but, object pooling, alright? This guy probably doesn't know what object pooling is, because there are periodically just, like, massive, slowdowns, like something like that, just happening with mid-combat. It's because they're obviously just loading in like the waves of zombies or whatever. This shit happens. And it sucks. It could also just be a limitation with the Flash engine, or maybe have something to do with the fact that Flash is extinct and like you don't even have the software for it on your PC anymore. So I'm pretty sure it's its own thing, like it's supposed to work normal, and I'm pretty sure it was always an issue. It's probably just the guy didn't use object pooling, it's like RAM dumping. Purging all the dead objects that could have been recycled. Still, it makes things absolutely infuriating as the days go on, because the waves just keep getting bigger, and that means you're going to encounter those slowdowns more frequently as the game goes on, and there's not much you can do to avoid it. Even turning the settings down to the lowest doesn't help very much. Aside from that, like, the guns are all very linear upgrades. There are only turrets and turrets with more ammo. The boxes are fucking useless. The walls do their job, but everything's just, like, way too simplistic. There's not enough to it. Very low scope, and, like, the days last too long, I guess, in that sense. Or the nights do, at least. Because the game goes on just a little too long. You hit your max upgrades and you still have like a week to go in game. There's just not enough to do, so you end up sleeping through all the days because there's nothing else. It's fairly easy to get all the achievements, so if you're an achievement hunter, you want to farm out platinums or whatever, assuming it's even on the PlayStation. Probably not. You can do that, but I don't know. I bought it for like $1. It was worth $1. I don't know that I would have paid the full price. I feel like I could have played something better for free because I did, and it's called Last Stand Union City.
You waking me? Go away.
I don't know what else can be said. There's not a lot to be said because the game's so damn simple and like, it's not a bad thing. It was mostly about nostalgia for me. Like, I wanted to play it. I had it at some point, but I never did. I guess I just didn't get time on the computer. And I think it came out around the time my brother was very addicted to World of Warcraft. I don't mean that as a joke. He was like skipping schoolwork and stuff. Like he was flunking out because of how much he was playing fucking Warcraft. And he had to stop. Oh yeah, that's the story, I guess. The developer got hired for some other projects, like he's working with other game studios. He's still making stuff. But if you look in like the forums, you can see he has posted his thoughts about fixing bugs or adding new content or even making a sequel eventually. He's just busy with actual official paying projects at the moment. He doesn't have time for it. He is like very keen on the idea of putting out a fixed version of the game at some point though. So, you know, if he does that, I'll bump it up a point, but as things stand, it's like, it's a 5. It's the definition of mid. There's just not enough to it. Not enough creativity. Did have a little nostalgia, but that's probably not there for people who are younger than me. By like 2 years or so. So, I don't know, it might score a little lower for y'all. Is this guy ever gonna wake up?
No. Clear it off.
God, there's something going on my back. Like an itch, but it's painful. And there we go.
I want that ring. I believe you still have it?
Ha! First he brings me the ring, then he wants it back.
Well, those are the rules of the game, right?
True enough. Only I did the sensible thing and hid it carefully. It's not so much about the free booze. I'm just a competitive bastard by nature. But just to make
Makes
things
sense.
interesting, here's a wee clue for you. Find the dead standing among the living and turn your eyes heavenwards.
Okay. So, what, am I looking for, like, a dead tree? Dead tree in a forest? This looks like a dead tree. Probably, like, hanging from it. I wonder if this is gonna be something that I have to shoot off, or it's just sitting on a branch. Or if Heaven's Word means, like, east, sunrises in the east. Like, could it be over here, perhaps? Like a dead tree as well. Got thicker branches, though. Maybe something I'd actually be able to interact with. Oh, it's a sheep pen. Maybe even better. No. It's also possible I'm looking for, like, a grave, maybe in here as well. I wonder if it marked on my map. Oh. Sure as heck did. Unless that's the camp, I don't think it is. Could be that Stefan's moving, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be other dead trees in sight, too. Perhaps this one. Nettle. Never go wrong with some nettles. Ah, bird nest. It up there like an old magpie. Oh. 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 I was spot on, I just picked the wrong dead tree.
They say someone there owes them a pile of coin, and they'll share with us.
Horse shit.
They're the ones who owe a pile of coin, and that's why they want to get out of it.
I've got the ring.
Kuno won't know what hit him. I'll drink the alehouse dry, just to get my money's worth. Here, have a drink yourself, on me.
Thanks. Enjoy.
That's why Kuttenberg makes sense. It's a silver mining town, and miners are hard as fucking nails. Some of them might be...
Alright, now we need to get the rat tie for the competition. Right, so we have shows to talk about too. What have we got? Okay, I'll start with the one that I really liked. Kinda came out of nowhere. I think the show was originally aired in like 2016 maybe, but it was only dubbed recently. Called Link Click. And if you're one of those people who's a snob about what is anime, like you think Avatar: The Last Airbender is not anime, then this might not be anime, because I'm pretty sure, I'm like 80% sure it's either Korean or Chinese. So, you know, these fucking snobs think that anime means that it's fucking animation made in Japan, aka Japanimation. But I don't think that's the same thing. You know, that's like saying that all stories made in Greece are tragedies. And that tragedies can't be written in any other culture just because the Greeks wrote the famous ones. I get that anime is the Japanese word for animation, like, okay, that's 1-1, but that means that if an episode of SpongeBob airs in Japan, then SpongeBob is now anime. And it also means that they have no concept of cartoons as we have them, whereas our cartoons are obviously very different, where they're usually like sketch-based things. They're not serialized storytelling normally. You know, lots of other factors. It's very hard to pinpoint what makes it what it is, because not everything applies, other than that it's fucking animated, because it has so many different genres within it, right? And that's why the argument has been so, like, long-standing and divisive. Anyways, Korean show. Is it still anime? I feel like some of you racist fucks are gonna say yes, because Korea is right next to Japan. You can't tell the difference. But I say yes because I stand for it as, like, the artistic movement, artistic premise concept that I feel that anime means. Anyways. So I'm like 80% sure because, I don't know, again, it is very just like normal. But stuff like street names, whatever town they're in, character names, they all sound like very Korean to me. Like people are named like Bang,
What brings you?
Jungube. Stuff that's very hard to pronounce for me.
I'd like to enroll.
All right.
Of course. Here you are.
I'll write your name down, and I need to know what weapon you choose.
Longsword.
Good. Take care.
Anyways. Real simple premise. We got guys who edit photos, but like they can look into the photo and interact with like the whole scene in there, like traveling back in time, basically. And you know, they get paid to go and like look for information, I guess.
Let us wish the combatants luck.
Or just do change something small without completely editing the future, because they do in fact have that power. They are really going back to the past. But, you know, that's their whole job. It's like, say this, you know, my mom died, but I didn't say this to her. I wish I said it to her. And like, okay, your mom's still dead, so it doesn't fucking matter. But, alright. We can do that. We got you, G. But, you know, most of these stories take a dark turn or darker turn than you'd expect from what their initial, job is. And then there's, like, the whole meta plot going on with the guys who are doing the stuff. And, you know, all these side stories eventually tie together into some bigger thing, which, you know, you always love to see. How it's not, again, random sketches. It does turn into a bigger story.
God damn!
Well, you got the serious broody dude, and you got the fun guy who makes mistakes. So, you know,
That's the end of the first round of combat.
energetic man and straight man, I think they call it. That's like the classic comedy duo. Just like good cop, bad cop, you know. You get the guy who's talking shit and the guy who's making too much sense.
The second bout
Like the
will surely be no
basis
less exciting. This one may decide
of
the winner.
Eastern comedy.
Our combatants will demonstrate their skills with short sword and shield.
Which is usually not lol, but it is giggle at the very least. So, you know, they're a fun, entertaining group of people to watch, we'll say. But again, like, the writing was just really good. I really liked all the individual strands, and again, they tied together, which was satisfying, even if it was a little silly how they had to wrap things up. Which was to be expected, you know, it's a time travel thing. Time travel always fucks up somewhere. And art's very competent. Again, it's a little bit of what's showing it's Korean is that it's not very generic looking anime. It's just art, I don't know. It's nothing crazy, it still feels anime inspired, very simple looking people, but like it's got a little more detail to it.
And the second duel was won by Henry of Skalitz. He is hereby
It looks good though.
in this round and shall proceed to the next round.
So, you know, for something I heard literally nobody talk about, very, very good.
Meeting face to face in this
I'm surprised it
round
even
will
got
be
dubbed like 4
Thaddeus,
years later,
commander of the
4
guard
years
of
after the fact, considering that, again, there was no buzz around this thing.
Henry of Skalitz from the company of Saradze Kabla. Welcome, our warriors. All is prepared for the first duel. We will witness a duel with longswords.
Oh, jeez, I forgot the architecture in the show. That's another hint that it's like Korean or Chinese. I don't know my cultures, alright? I'm assuming Korean because South Korea is like more of a free place than China.
That's the end of the first round of combat, and the victor is Henry of Skalitz.
But, you know, you see buildings that look a lot different than what you usually see.
Change weapons for the second bout. Our combatants will demonstrate their skills with short sword and shield. Fuck!
Alright, is that glossed over like we do? What was the other show? The Devil's a Part-Timer Season 2? Happened like, what, 8 years later? Some very extreme amount of time from when the original season aired. However, I only watched the first season like 2-3 years ago, so it's still relatively fresh in my memory. And, you know, I thought that the first season was pretty funny. Reverse isekai, you got people coming from the fantasy world into the boring world. Except those people are Satan and his minions. And they, like, really committed to the bit for a while. Like, the half of the first episode, they're speaking in, Latin until they finally figured out how to, like, mind read English out of people. Or Japanese English, you know what I mean? And he gets a job at McDonald's. Because that's all his no education having ass can do. And what, the hero from the other world comes in too, and they like have to work together to solve whatever bullshit dragged them out there in the first place, or I don't fucking know. The main plot of it is like the B thing. It's really just about the comedy bits that happen in between. Whenever there's action on screen, it's like not very good, but it's still there to drive the story forward. And you see, that's what I mean. They don't have the concept of normal cartoons, because this is totally what could have been a cartoon, but it has to have serialized storytelling. Even fucking Shin-Chan has storytelling.
Sir Hanish, by whose good grace this tourney is convened, selects the weapons for the third decisive duel. Our warriors will fight with hunting swords.
Anyway, Season 2, more the same. I thought that the less of the jokes landed, or they were just less funny in general. Maybe I just wasn't into it. Maybe it's time had passed. But, you know, he also gets, like, a daughter, and you gotta listen to a fucking annoying kid, which makes things worse. You know, the fucking hero, buddy, enemy to friend is still, like, there hanging out with him all the time. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. Like, no, you're not. You were friends. I'm gonna kill you, though. Like, fucking give it up, alright? You're friends now. Stop it. Come on. Like, it's annoying at a certain point. They've spent too long doing this shit.
God!
So, yeah, I just wasn't into it. I still watched it, but, like, eh. I don't know that I would go for a Season 3 if that is ever made. I'm sure there's manga that exists, though. Maybe it's even funnier there, I have no idea. Generally speaking, I find that a lot of Japanese comedy just does not land the same. Most of my favorite comedy animes are stuff that have really good dubs. I don't feel like anything would even work remotely as well if I didn't understand what these people were saying. To be clear, yes, I do occasionally watch subtitled stuff. It's not my MO. It has to be something really good, and then I'll go out of my way to sit there and read it. Otherwise, I'm watching to relax, like, passively. Anyways, not a lot to it. Annoying kid, so, like, less points. Felt the jokes landed less. And maybe there was a little too much action. A little too much of the mediocre action. That's all the same. Oh, and the man, like, doesn't even do any McDonald'sing, you know? They go on, like, vacation. And he works a different part-time job. He works 2 different part-time jobs, so those are 2 arcs. And he tries to spend money at some point, too. Which I guess was kind of funny that they turned the whole fucking Via TV into like a 2-episode saga. 2-3-episode saga. But you see, that's what I mean. That's like the basis of their humor. It's a funny situation, but what's actually happening is not very funny beyond that. And the third show is the last thing on our list to talk about. Made in Abyss, Season 2, question mark? I mean... They had the main show, and then they did the movies, which went a little bit further than the show did, so I don't know where to even place this, but whatever. The Golden City arc, we'll call it. And this was a weird one, because it, like, kind of breaks the structure of what the show was, and how they're, like, going deeper into the Abyss, and layers change, and those are all arcs. Here, they make it into the city right at the start, and they spend the entire season there. This is just the story of that city. They do not delve deeper into the Abyss. But, you know, all the, like, weird, dark shit that and body horror that the show is known for is all still there. Damn, I think we lost.
With his second victory at the end of the third bout, the victor of this round is...
Hunting swords. Bullshit.
As victor in this round, he shall proceed to the next.
Ah. Don't have anything to sell, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Face to face in this round will be...
Okay, I need to find some row. Right, so I guess it's interesting, like they have time to build up something very high concept here because they spend the entire season in this one place, right? But like the execution of it is you're gonna watch a lot of flashbacks and you're gonna see very little of Rico and Nanachi. Which means, like, why is it even gotta be made in Abyss if you're just gonna do, like, this isolated thing? And you at least give it, like, a subtitle or something. A super title, rather. I don't know. Maybe even just leave them out of it entirely. And then from, like, a lore standpoint, it shows, like, some of the first people to enter the Abyss and, like, what happened with them, so that was cool. But, like, this whole thing is fucking weird. Shit goes fucking apeshit wacky. And I'm not sure how I feel about any of it, but, you know, you're just supposed to accept what happened, I guess. I don't know, I guess as far as progress goes, they maybe made a new companion. She's not, like, with them officially, but she says she's gonna be watching. So, we're probably gonna see more of her. I don't want to spoil too much, but even using pronouns is probably a little bit spoilery. You probably think it's gonna be one of two people until you get to the last episode. So, I guess that's not too bad. Could be worse for me. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like a different vibe. It's still what you came for, but the adventure of it is gone, I suppose. And that makes it a bit less appealing to me. But like, I still enjoyed watching it. Still fucking turned my stomach, you know. I just wish that it felt like progress was made rather than I was getting a fucking lecture. a lore dump.
Yeah.
How many meats did I need? Like 10? Yeah. Alright, take me towards the green.
Yeah.
See, that was like the shortest discussion of them all, because... And not obviously, there's like way too much surprising imagery and stuff you see. Like, I really don't want to spoil. There are like so few characters who are not going to fucking die in this season that even mentioning names about people doing specific things is probably too much spoilers. And also, I'm not entirely sure I comprehend what the fuck happened, so like, I can't even talk about it in that sense, if I wanted to. This shit was trippy. I feel like I might even have to rewatch it just to fucking process it properly, but I'm not sure I want to. Still though, I look forward to seeing more at the very least. I did enjoy it despite having mixed opinions about it, comparatively.
Someone there? What do you need? Hello! Dawg, get over here! Yeah.
I guess that's all we have to say. My internet got upgraded today, boys. I finally don't have a data cap. Means I can stream as much as I want, hypothetically. Doesn't mean I don't have a job. But, you know, it's less of a... I can bitch about it less now. And the speeds got faster too, so hopefully there's less dropped frames. Though I did see the chat window reset just a minute ago, so that's not a good sign. Still, it's great for me. It means maybe we really will be streaming a lot more frequently when we play Psychonauts 2.
Shit.
What do you need?
I've got the meat you want.
Great. Nothing like the aroma of fresh game. Here you are. You've earned your groschen.
Are you after some meat?
I've run out of boar meat. It's a nuisance. Folk come here from far and wide for my... If you could bring me some, I'd make... Goodbye.
Oh, I see, there's Boar's Pit right nearby. 10. We only needed 3,000 and we were at 1.9. That's our goal. We're just gonna get money, guys. Fuck. We might finish Band of Bastards too, I don't know. But this hunting stuff is what's lucrative.
Yeah.
How are we on time? Like 2.5? No, we are at 3. Yeah, we're probably not gonna finish Band of Bastards in this one, but next time for sure. And yeah, I do realize I can go as long as I want. And on another day, I might have. But I told you guys at the start of this, I am fucking sleepy. Because I've been awake too long. I skipped my nap time slot and decided to do this. So I didn't have to try and fit it into my sleep recovery schedule tomorrow.
Yeah.
I need some water to clear my damn throat, and we're taking a nap. It's gonna be glorious. Nothing like being able to sleep knowing that you won't wake up having an asthma attack in a few minutes. Goddamn comforting. Where all those boar go? I know I popped one in his booty. Oh, those are rocks. Now, I'll bring him this whole goddamn boar. You can have all the meat. See if I care. And he's gonna pull the quest money out of his ass. I might as well bleed him dry too. It's not like I ever come here. He's right nearby too. That's the best part. In keep, I brought you a whole goddamn pig. You better pay me like 100 times whatever you're gonna pay me for 10 pieces. Because I got 10 times that.
I've got the meat you want.
That's 17 times that. I got 18 times what you wanted me to get you.
Great. Nothing like you. Here you are. And as I promised,
He taught me something. Ah, that was the end of his whole thing. Cool.
see you later.
This guy has no money! Ah, take it all, you no good some or other. Nah, you can have some of it. I'll find someone else to pawn this shit off on. Yeah, good enough. Alright, I've got grocers up in Ujit, so we'll head there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost there. I doubt they're gonna have the money I need. But I gotta try some.
God be with you.
Money be with you? Oh no! Maybe the innkeeper. He's gotta have money. He's probably the richest man in this damn town.
Here, just as you
Anton, Milon.
God be with you. See you later.
He's got some money, no. No, he could probably take like 25. You can take more, you can take more. Another 10. Another 10. Perfect. And that rep. And there's another grocer over here-ish. Baker, do you bake meat pies? You should. Great idea. You should take that one to the bank.
God preserve.
Because it'll break it.
Good luck then.
Sweet pancake, holy fuck. Those people have no money.
What do you want?
I'm trying to get out of here. Up the street. I have a traitor too. He probably has money. But I've already come this far.
Just a few small...
God be with you.
None of you motherfuckers have money.
Have you made your choice?
Yeah.
I'll take this. That's everything.
Thanks. Here's your pay.
I'm honored that... God be with you.
He's got money. He's the richest man in the village. I should have came here first. Sell you a whole goddamn pig. Tell you what. Have some apples too. And some cheese. Cheese doesn't even go bad, but you know what? Just for you. You stick my salami in your hand too, eh? Everybody likes to feel Henry's salami. Comforting. Whole.
Can we do something about...
Well...
Satisfied?
That's better. Finally.
Alright, that's possibly enough. It might be just a little short, but I'm willing to head back to Pribyslavitz with that. And, you know, worst case scenario, I gotta, like, go hunt something and sell it to our local trader. Only 100 coins. You gotta have that much money on it, right? My town. We've gotta have all the money. We're rich. We're rich and hemorrhaging money. But that ends today. It's the last thing I do. After that, I can, like, go fucking disappear for a year and come back and have the funds to build something. Probably. we're making like 100 a day, then yeah, I just gotta, you know, about a month. About a month will get you 3,000 at that rate. Just that we're not losing it, that's the important part, I suppose. I'm still definitely gonna have to work for it, but I'll feel less rushed. You know, I'm just trying to minimize losses because I was not at all prepared to do this. I get started with like 10,000 or some such, and it just wasn't nearly enough. It's my entire goddamn life savings.
Yeah.
.3. I have faith. Now I'm 8.2. Gotta be enough. We were trying to build the forge, right? I'm not about to waste money. Pretty sure we're building the forge, which you can afford. We got the bakery up. You don't need the butcher. Stables needs the forge. Guardhouse needs the forge, and the tavern. Tavern. I probably wanted to build the tavern because that lets me cash in on the cakes. Yeah, we're gonna do that. They're both probably decent enough ideas, but alright, get the fuck out of here, Steam.
We'll have a good dance.
Greetings. Greetings.
Greetings.
No.
Where's my man? What's his name? Marius? Wake the fuck up, Marius.
I want to build, but we mustn't waste it.
We can't build in the dark. You can't hammer a nail if you can't even see past your nose. I applaud your fervor, but you...
I suppose...
You can hammer a nail, you can dodge a ball. Dodge this. I was trying to punch. He had like an X on him. I guess he's an immortal. I hate how slow it moves at the end. Just like takes half the duration of the entire wait period. Marius! Marius! It is time.
I want to build...
Certainly.
It's time for beer. I don't remember the song, I'm sorry. Go watch my Barnes Tale playthrough.
People need to wash the dust down after a hard day's
Pretty
work.
sure I still had the bad quality mic when we did it, but
That should do it. We've got everything we need to start building.
y'all should play that game at the very least. Beer, 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 tilly beer, beer, beer. Blah, blah, blah. Charlie Mops. Man who invented beer.
We're gonna build here?
Yes. Shall we get started?
Alright.
I'm ready.
I'll just quickly check again that we have everything we need. We've got what we need.
Hey, we got housing. What do you know? I got 2 things done. That might give me an additional bonus. Wait, because they're gonna stay at the inn? You get like a bed 1 night a week? Because you decide to rent a room? Or do I just have enough buildings in the square now that they have houses? Bro, I just slept through the whole goddamn night. You kidding me? Rooch. Rooch around these nuts. What? What? Lumiere. Ale house made. Sermonette lemonade. Yeah, food pot people. Big million.
How's it going? God be with you.
I wish they had, like, actual NPCs in these towns, man. Like, the other ones do. Well, at least let me shoot the shit with the guy and not just make him a fucking merchant. I'm not saying he needs to have an entire questline attached to him, but, like, some of them should. There's just like a town of fucking aimless NPCs, dog. And it's a fucking chore to build so far. But I do believe we are now profitable. Right, the laborers camp's losing less money, I think. Tavern's making big money, bakery's making big money. Raider's still losing it, but hey, what are you gonna do? We are making 51 coins a day. And have 40 people. Village income needs to get higher, but we completed that objective. Maybe that's how we secured the housing, by reaching 40 people. Yeah, we just need more money. And we gotta get the church repairs. That's the first thing. Before we get something. Hopefully a fucking grant. So I can get the rat house up. You know the drill. Another 8,000 to get the smithy up. I'm just gonna sleep more. God damn it, game. Why you gotta do this to me? Okay, well, I think that we're good, alright? We completed our objective. We tried and failed to win a tournament. That was our first loss. And then we did some Bandit Bastard stuff, and we got more money. Now our village is finally profitable. I feel very good about that. It took so goddamn long. We invested so much money into the wrong places. But, you know, now things will hypothetically return to us in a very long amount of time. This is how investing works, people. Like, you gotta bust your ass while you're young so you can get that money when you don't need it anymore. That's the world we live in. And with that advice, I'll see you in a week. Hopefully you don't have any money left in your wallet by then. Because then you'll know your future's secure. And we can all celebrate. Bye-bye.